My beloved child, I have seen what others did not see. I have heard the words that were spoken against you, and I have also heard the words you swallowed because you were too tired to defend yourself again. Do not think that your silence confused me. Do not think that because people misunderstood you, heaven also misunderstood you. I know the full story. I saw the moment your heart sank when someone judged you without knowing your pain. I saw the night you lay awake, replaying what happened, wondering if anyone would ever know the truth. I saw the courage it took for you to keep walking when your name was handled carelessly, when your motives were questioned, when the kindness you gave was treated like weakness. My beloved child, not every wound bleeds where the world can see it. Some wounds sit quietly behind a smile. Some injustice hides behind polite conversations. Some betrayal leaves no visible scar, yet it changes the way you breathe, the way you trust, the way you step into tomorrow. But nothing hidden from people is hidden from me. I do not judge as people judge. People often look at one moment and think they understand the whole life. They hear one sentence and decide the whole heart. They see one tear and call it weakness. They see one mistake and forget every unseen battle that came before it. But I look deeper. I see the pressure you carried. I see the grief you never explained. I see the times you chose peace when you could have answered with anger. My beloved child, I want you to rest in this truth today. What happened to you has not disappeared into nothing. It has not been lost in the noise of other voices. The truth did not fall through the cracks of time. I have held it before me with perfect care. Every tear, every false accusation, every moment of being overlooked, every season where you felt invisible has been known by me. There were times you asked, Father, why did you let them think that about me? Why did you let them walk away while I stayed carrying the weight? Why did you not make the truth clear immediately? And I want you to know this. My delay was not denial. My silence was not absence. My waiting was not forgetfulness. I was working in places you could not reach, and I was also protecting parts of you that were too tender to be exposed too soon. My beloved child, I do not move according to the panic of human opinion. I do not need applause, witnesses, or permission to defend what belongs to me. When the appointed moment comes, truth does not need to scream. It only needs my light. One touch of my light can reveal what arguments could never prove. One movement of my hand can lift the burden that years of explaining could not remove. Remember Hagar in the wilderness. She was seen by people as a servant pushed aside by conflict, carrying fear into a lonely place. Yet there in the desert I met her. I did not speak to her as someone forgotten. I revealed myself as the God who sees. That same truth is over you now, my beloved child. I am the God who sees you in the wilderness of misunderstanding. I see you when no one asks how deeply it hurt. I see you when you keep moving, with tears still hidden inside. Do not confuse being unseen by people with being unseen by me. The eyes of the world are easily distracted. They turn toward noise, appearance, gossip, and quick conclusions. But my eyes are steady. I do not miss the small obedience. I do not miss the private restraint. I do not miss the moment you chose not to return cruelty for cruelty, even though your heart had every reason to ache. My beloved child, the injustice you endured is not your identity. The betrayal that touched your life is not the name written over you. The misunderstanding that followed you is not the final sentence. You are not what they said. You are not what they assumed. You are not the version of you that wounded people created in order to justify their own blindness. You are mine, and what I call mine is never left without covering. There is a scripture that says in Psalm 56 that I collect your tears. Let that settle inside your heart. I do not merely notice your pain from a distance. I receive it. I treasure what others dismissed. I understand what others rushed past. Your tears are not wasted water. In my hands they become seeds of healing. They become quiet prayers. They become evidence that your heart was still alive, even after disappointment tried to make it hard. Even when others rewrite your story, I keep the original pages safe within my presence. Even when they speak with confidence about what they never understood, I remain the witness who cannot be deceived. Let this comfort you. The truth does not become weaker because it is quiet for a season. I will bring it forward. So breathe, my beloved child. Stop trying to carry the whole trial in your chest. Stop rehearsing every defense before people who may never want to understand. You do not have to keep standing in an imaginary courtroom proving your innocence to minds already closed. Bring the matter to me. Place the names, the memories, the questions, and the unfinished conversations into my hands. I am not asking you to pretend that it did not hurt. I am not asking you to call wrong right. I am not asking you to erase the past or smile over something that broke your trust. I am asking you to stop letting injustice sit on the throne of your heart. Let me be the one who rules there. Let my peace begin where your explanations ended. My beloved child, I have seen the injustice. I have seen the hidden story. I have seen your sincerity, your wounds, your restraint, and your longing to be understood. And I tell you today, you are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not buried beneath what happened. I am drawing near to you with truth, mercy, and restoration. Walk forward knowing that the Father who sees also knows how to restore. The story is not over because my hand is still upon you. My beloved child, now that you know I have seen the injustice, let me speak to the part of your heart that still wonders what my justice will look like. You may imagine justice as a loud collision, as someone finally being exposed as pain returning to the one who caused pain. You may think that only when another person feels what you felt will the story become balanced, but I want to lift your eyes higher than that. My justice is not revenge dressed in holy language. My justice is restoration. It is truth entering the room without hatred in its hands. It is light touching what has been hidden, not to entertain the crowd, but to heal what darkness distorted. I do not correct wrong simply to create more wounds. I correct wrong to bring life back into places where life was stolen. My beloved child, the world often confuses justice with satisfaction. It wants the quick fall, the loud humiliation, the public defeat, the moment when someone who caused pain is forced to taste bitterness. But my kingdom does not move by the hunger of wounded pride. I am righteous, yes, but my righteousness is never separated from mercy. I am holy, yes, but my holiness is never cruel. I bring truth, but I also bring the hands that bind up what truth exposes. Think of a room that has been closed for years. The air has grown heavy. Dust has settled on every surface. The curtains are shut, and things left in darkness have begun to decay. When I open the window, the light does not enter to shame the room. It enters so the room can breathe again. It reveals the dust, yes. It shows what must be cleaned, yes. But the purpose is not embarrassment. The purpose is renewal. That is how my justice works within your life. I reveal not to destroy you. I reveal to free you. I bring hidden things into my light so they can no longer control the soul from secret places. What is confessed can be cleansed. What is surrendered can be healed. What is placed in my hands can be transformed. My beloved child, there is a scripture that says, I am close to the brokenhearted and save those who are crushed in spirit. Let this truth become a resting place inside you. I do not stand far away, measuring your pain with cold eyes. I come close. I kneel near the broken place. I do not mock the wound. I do not rush the healing. I do not tell you to stop feeling before I have held what hurts. Yet I also will not let pain become your master. I will not allow the wound to become the voice that decides how you see every person, every tomorrow, every open door. My justice does not harden you. My justice heals you so deeply that the past loses permission to shape your future with fear. You may ask, my beloved child, does mercy mean the wrong is ignored? Does forgiveness mean the damage no longer matters? Does restoration mean the truth is covered over so everyone can pretend nothing happened? No, my mercy is not denial. My forgiveness is not blindness. My restoration is not pretending. I see clearly. I weigh rightly. I know what was done, what was hidden, what was excused, and what was never spoken aloud. But I also see beyond the surface of every soul. I see the wounded person who became the one who wounds. I see the fear behind control, the emptiness behind pride, the confusion behind cruelty. This does not excuse what was done. It simply shows you why my justice must be wiser than human revenge. Revenge only passes pain from one heart to another. Restoration breaks the chain. Remember the prodigal son. He wasted what had been given, wandered into emptiness, and carried the shame of his own choices. Yet when he returned, the father did not pretend the wandering was wise. He also did not meet him with stones. He ran toward him, covered him, restored him, and brought him home. That is not weakness. That is the strength of love that refuses to let failure have the final word. My beloved child, this is the justice I want you to understand. When I set things right, I do not only address what happened around you, I address what happened within you. I touch the anger that kept you awake. I touch the fear that made you guard every conversation. I touch the heaviness that made you believe you must always be ready to defend yourself. I touch the hidden wish that those who hurt you would finally feel as small as they made you feel. Bring even that wish to me. Do not hide it behind religious words. I am not afraid of your honesty. I know when your heart says, Father, I want them to understand what they did. I know when you want acknowledgement. I know when you want the truth to stand up in front of everyone. But I also know that if revenge becomes your bread, it will poison you while promising to feed you. So let me feed you with something better. Let me give you peace that does not depend on their confession. Let me give you dignity that does not wait for their apology. Let me give you freedom that does not need their downfall in order to rise. My justice can expose what must be exposed, but I will not ask you to become bitter while waiting for it. My beloved child, I can restore honor without making you arrogant. I can restore tenderness without making you naive. I can restore trust without making you careless. I can restore strength without making you harsh. This is the beauty of my way. I do not return you to the old version of yourself. I raise you into a wiser, cleaner, steadier version, one who has walked through pain but has not become the pain. So release the image of justice that looks only like revenge. Let it fall from your hands. I am building something higher. I am not only dealing with what wounded you, I am preparing to heal the place where the wound tried to build a home. I am not only answering the wrong, I am restoring the soul that survived it. And while I work, do not measure my care by the speed of visible results. A seed under soil is not abandoned because it is unseen. In quiet places, roots are forming, strength is returning, and the answer is growing beneath the surface of your waiting even now within you. Rest in me, my beloved child. Let my justice come with my mercy, and let my mercy come with my truth. As you place the matter deeper into my hands, I will begin teaching you how to stop carrying the burden of defending yourself. You will see that the one who restores is also the one who knows how to defend what belongs to him. My beloved child, after I have shown you that my justice is restoration, I want you to release the fear that you must defend yourself before every human voice. You have carried that burden for too long. You have stood in conversations that felt like courtrooms. You have replayed words in your mind trying to find the sentence that would make them understand. You have imagined what you should have said, what you could have explained, what might have changed their opinion of you. But I tell you gently, you were never created to live on trial. There are seasons when silence feels unbearable because your heart longs to be cleared immediately. You want truth to rise now. You want the false story to fall now. You want the ones who judged you to see the whole picture now. I understand this longing, my beloved child. I do not condemn you for wanting your name restored. I do not dismiss the ache of being misunderstood. I know how heavy it is when people speak with confidence about a story they only partly know. Yet I ask you to trust my timing more than your urgency. What feels urgent to your wound may not yet be ready for your healing. If I exposed everything before your heart was steady, the truth might become a weapon in your hands instead of a doorway to freedom. If I answered every accusation at the exact moment you demanded, you might begin to trust speed more than me. So I sometimes allow waiting not to shame you, but to deepen you. Remember Moses standing before the Red Sea. Behind him was the army of Pharaoh. Before him was water, and around him were frightened voices. The people wanted an immediate solution. Their fear spoke louder than their faith. But I told them through my servant that they needed only to be still, and I would fight for them. My beloved child, that word is not a memory trapped in an ancient desert. It is a living word for you today. There are battles you cannot win by explaining more. There are waters you cannot open by panic. There are enemies you cannot defeat by exhausting your soul. You need only to place your feet where I lead and let me do what belongs to me. I know the temptation to correct every lie. I know the pressure to chase every person who misread you. I know the painful desire to gather evidence, build arguments, and make your innocence visible to every eye. But truth does not need panic to survive. Truth rests safely in my hands. Lies may run quickly for a season, but they have no eternal strength. False words may travel through rooms, messages, and memories, but they cannot outrun the light of my appointed time. My beloved child, I do not sleep while your story is being twisted. I do not look away while your motives are questioned. I do not forget the quiet integrity you showed when no one praised you for it. Every hidden act of obedience, every restrained answer, every tear you carried into the night has been known by me. You may feel unseen, but you have not been unguarded. You may feel delayed, but you have not been denied. There is a scripture in Romans that says, "Vengeance belongs to me, and I will repay." This does not mean I invite you to wait with clenched fists and bitter thoughts. It means I am freeing your hands. It means you do not have to become the collector of every debt, the judge of every heart, the keeper of every wound. You can release what was done into my care, because I alone can judge without corruption and restore without cruelty. When you try to defend yourself from a place of fear, you often lose the peace I am trying to give you. You may win an argument and still walk away more wounded. You may prove a point and still feel empty. You may make someone silent and still not be healed. My defense is deeper than human victory. I do not only want to change what others say about you, I want to quiet the storm inside you that still believes their opinion holds the key to your peace. So breathe, my beloved child. Let your shoulders lower, let your hands open. You are not responsible for forcing every closed mind to open. You are not responsible for chasing every rumor until it dies. You are not responsible for making every person admit what they did not want to see. Your responsibility is to remain faithful, humble, and surrendered while I work in the unseen places. Think of a farmer who has placed seed beneath the soil. If he digs it up every hour to check whether it is growing, he destroys the very process he hopes to see. In the same way, when you keep disturbing your own heart by demanding visible proof of my work, you interrupt the peace that is meant to strengthen you. Trust that beneath the surface I am moving. Roots are forming. Truth is gathering strength. What is hidden is not forgotten. My beloved child, my timing is not late simply because it is not loud. I often work like morning light. At first, the darkness seems unchanged. Then slowly, without violence, the horizon begins to brighten. Shapes become clear. Paths appear. What once seemed covered begins to stand in the open. This is how I will defend you. Not always through spectacle. Not always through a dramatic moment. Sometimes I defend you by removing you from the need to be defended at all. For there is a higher freedom than having every person agree with your side. It is the freedom of knowing that I know. It is the peace of no longer rehearsing your defense before people who were never appointed to judge your soul. It is the quiet strength of walking forward while I handle what you cannot. Do not mistake my patience for indifference. Do not mistake my silence for distance. Do not mistake your waiting season for a forgotten season. I am arranging what your eyes cannot yet see. I am softening what must be softened. I am exposing what must be exposed. I am protecting you from answers that would come too soon and wounds that would reopen too deeply. My beloved child, let me defend you in my own time. Lay down the need to be instantly understood. Lay down the hunger to correct every voice. Lay down the exhausting habit of proving that your heart was sincere. I already know. I already saw. I already hold the full record in truth and mercy. Your name is safe with me, and your future is not chained to the mouths that misjudged you, rejected you, or misunderstood your silence. And as you rest in this, I will begin showing you something even deeper. Not only will I defend you from what was spoken against you, but I will also teach you that no accusation has the power to define the one I have chosen. My beloved child, as I teach you to rest while I defend you, I also want you to understand who has been speaking so loudly against your soul. Not every voice that rises inside you comes from me. Not every memory that condemns you carries my truth. Not every person who points at your weakness has been given authority to name your destiny. There is an accuser, and his work is to take one stain, one wound, one failure, one painful season, and try to make it sound like the whole story of who you are. But I am the one who sees the whole story. I know what happened before the moment others judged. I know what pressure bent your shoulders. I know the tears you hid, the fears you carried, the confusion you could not explain, and the prayers you whispered when you did not know how to continue. The accuser speaks from fragments. I speak from fullness. The accuser points at what is broken. I see what can still be redeemed. My beloved child, remember Joshua the high priest standing before me in the vision given to Zechariah. He stood in garments that were stained while the accuser stood ready to oppose him. To human eyes, the stains seemed like final evidence. To the accuser, they seemed like permission to condemn. But I did not allow accusation to have the last word. I rebuked the accuser and I commanded that the stained garments be removed. Then I clothed Joshua with clean garments, not because the stains had never existed, but because mercy had greater authority than shame. Do you see what I am showing you? I did not pretend the garments were clean. I did not ignore what needed to be changed, but I refused to let the garment become the identity of the one I had called. My beloved child, this is what I am doing in you. I am separating what touched you from who you are. I am separating the season you survived from the name I have spoken over your life. I am separating the accusation from the calling. There are things that clung to you during painful seasons, words people placed on you, labels that tried to follow you, shame that wrapped itself around your thoughts, regret that returned at night like a cold wind through an open window. You wondered if those things had become part of you. You wondered if the past had the right to lower your head forever. But I tell you today, no stain is stronger than my voice. My beloved child, the accuser wants you to live bent over. He wants you to keep rehearsing what went wrong. He wants you to believe that one chapter has swallowed the whole book. He wants you to look at yourself through the eyes of those who never understood your heart. But I do not see you through their blindness. I see you through covenant, mercy, and purpose. When I call you beloved, I am not speaking lightly. My word over you is not fragile. It does not tremble when people criticize you. It does not disappear when you stumble. It is not erased by rejection, gossip, silence, misunderstanding, or the memory of what you wish had happened differently. What I speak is higher than what they assumed. What I restore is deeper than what they damaged. There is a place in Scripture where it is declared that if I am for you, no opposing voice can finally stand against you. Let that truth become more than a sentence you have heard before. Let it become ground beneath your feet. This does not mean people will never speak against you. It means their voice is not the throne, their opinion is not the seal, their accusation is not the verdict. My beloved child, I want to free you from the hidden courtroom inside your mind. You have stood there many times presenting your defense to imaginary judges. You have explained your intentions to people who were not listening. You have tried to prove that you were not the cruel version someone described. You have spent strength trying to clean your name before those who enjoyed seeing it stained. Come out of that courtroom. I have already entered it. I do not call you to ignore correction. If there is something I must heal, I will touch it with truth. If there is something I must change, I will lead you with love. If there is something you must release, I will show you with patience. But my correction will not sound like the accuser. The accuser crushes. I restore. The accuser traps you in shame. I invite you into repentance and new life. The accuser says, "You are finished." I say, "I am not done with you." Do not confuse conviction with condemnation. Conviction brings you toward me. Condemnation drives you into hiding. Conviction says, "My child, come into the light and be healed." Condemnation says, "Stay in the dark because you are beyond hope." I will never use darkness to heal you. I bring you into light so that what is wounded can breathe again. My beloved child, lift your head, not with pride, not with denial, not with the arrogance of pretending nothing needs grace. Lift your head because I have placed my hand beneath your chin. I am teaching you to stand not as one who has never been touched by pain, but as one who has not been conquered by it. I am clothing you again with dignity, peace, and holy confidence. Let the old labels fall away. Let the voices that accused you lose their throne. Let the memories that shamed you be brought into my healing presence. You are not the accusation. You are not the wound. You are not the mistake. You are not the rumor. You are my beloved child, and I am still writing my truth over you. My beloved child, there is also another kindness I want to give you. I want to restore your own agreement with my voice. For sometimes the hardest accusation is not the one spoken by others, but the one you began repeating inside yourself. You heard their judgment so many times that it became familiar. You began calling yourself difficult, damaged, unworthy, forgotten, too late, too much, not enough. but those names did not come from my mouth. Return them to the place where they came from. They are not your inheritance. When I remove a garment of shame, do not keep picking it up again because it feels familiar. Let it fall. Let me cover you with truth until your soul learns to breathe without fear. You do not need to wear what I have removed, nor apologize for the freedom I purchased for your soul with my love today. Walk forward now as one I have lifted, and as you learn that the accuser does not define you, I will also free you from another heavy chain, the need to explain everything to everyone who never had the power to decide your worth. My beloved child, after I have shown you that the accuser does not define you, I now want to touch the burden you have carried in your words. You have spent so much strength trying to explain your heart. You have searched for the right sentence, the perfect answer, the gentle clarification that might finally make someone understand. You have spoken when you were exhausted, written when your hands trembled, and defended yourself before people whose hearts were not open to truth. I saw that weariness. I saw the way you kept returning to conversations in your mind, trying to repair what another person refused to hear. I saw you asking yourself whether you should have said it differently, softer, longer, clearer. But my beloved child, the problem was not always your explanation. Sometimes the problem was that the listener had already chosen a conclusion before you ever opened your mouth. You do not need to keep living as though peace depends on being understood by everyone. That is a prison with invisible walls. It makes you rehearse your pain, polish your defense, and spend your nights speaking to people who are not even in the room. I am freeing you from that prison. I am teaching you that truth does not become less true because someone refuses to receive it. My beloved child, there is a time to speak with humility. There is a time to confess, to clarify, to ask forgiveness, to bring light where confusion has entered. I do not call you into prideful silence. I do not teach you to hide behind coldness. But I also do not want you to pour sacred words into places where they are only being used against you. Wisdom knows the difference between honest conversation and endless self-defense. Remember my son before Pilate. Accusations surrounded him. Questions were pressed upon him. Voices demanded a response. Yet there were moments when he remained silent. His silence was not weakness. It was not fear. It was holy confidence resting in the Father. He did not need to chase every false word with another explanation because he knew who he was and whose will he had come to fulfill. My beloved child, I am bringing you into that kind of peace. The peace of knowing that your identity does not depend on the room understanding you. The peace of no longer handing your heart to every opinion, hoping it will be returned gently. The peace of saying what is necessary, then resting in me when more words would only drain your soul. You have believed that if you explained enough, you could prevent rejection. If you explained enough, you could control how they remembered you. If you explained enough, you could stop someone from twisting the story. But my child, control disguised as explanation still exhausts the spirit. You were never meant to hold every mind open with your own hands. You were never meant to keep your reputation alive through constant defense. Let me carry what you cannot carry. Let me guard what you cannot guard. Let me speak in ways that do not require your panic. I know how to place truth before the right eyes at the right time. I know how to let quiet evidence rise. I know how to use time, fruit, consistency, and peace to reveal what arguments could never reveal. There is a scripture that says to be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Let that word settle over the part of you that wants to rush. Being still does not mean doing nothing. It means refusing to let fear become the driver of your words. It means allowing your soul to stop running after validation. It means trusting that my hands are not idle simply because your mouth is resting. My beloved child, the need to explain everything often grows from an old wound. Somewhere you learned that love might leave if you were misunderstood. Somewhere you learned that being falsely judged meant danger. Somewhere you began believing that if you could just say enough, prove enough, show enough, then you would be safe. I am healing that root. I am teaching you that safety is not found in controlling every interpretation. Safety is found in my presence. So when someone chooses to misunderstand you, breathe. When someone asks questions not to know you but to trap you, be still. When someone demands an explanation for a boundary, I helped you place answer with gentleness if I lead you. But do not surrender your peace to their pressure. You may speak clearly without speaking endlessly. You may be kind without being available for emotional interrogation. You may forgive without opening the door to the same confusion again. My beloved child, I know there are unfinished conversations that still ache inside you. Words you never said, truths you wished they had heard, apologies you never received, accusations you never had the chance to correct. Bring all of that to me. Say it in my presence. Weep it before me if you must. Let your heart be honest with the one who can hold it without distortion. But do not keep returning to closed doors, hoping that more words will turn them into safe places. Some doors are closed because I am protecting your peace. Some silence is mercy. Some distance is wisdom. You may think that if you stop explaining, the false story will win. But my beloved child, a lie may be loud for a season, yet it has no roots in eternity. You do not need to stand beside it every day shouting that it is false. Live in truth. Walk in integrity. Keep your spirit clean. In time, the fruit of your life will speak. I am teaching you to use your words like oil, not like fire thrown into every argument. Words can heal, but they can also be wasted. Words can build bridges, but they can also keep you tied to a place I am calling you to leave. Ask me before you speak. Ask whether your words are flowing from love, fear, wisdom, or panic. I will guide you. You have permission to be quiet when quietness protects your healing. You have permission to step away when the conversation becomes a circle of accusation. You have permission to let my spirit answer within you before your lips answer around you. This is not abandonment of truth. This is surrender of the anxious need to manage every reaction, every memory, every opinion, and every echo of the past. I am teaching you to live from truth, not from constant defense anymore today. My beloved child, you are free to stop explaining everything. Free to stop defending your every emotion. Free to stop proving that your pain was real. I saw it. I know it. I believe you. Rest in the comfort of being fully known by me. And as this freedom settles within you, I will bring you into a softer place, a place where your tears no longer need to be hidden, where your soul can rest in my presence and be healed without performing strength. My beloved child, after I have freed you from the exhausting need to explain everything, I now invite you to bring your tears into my presence without shame. You have carried them quietly for so long. Some fell openly. Some were swallowed before anyone could notice. Some never reached your eyes because you had learned to hold yourself together in front of people who would not know how to handle your pain gently. Come closer now. You do not need to perform strength before me. You do not need to straighten your voice, hide your trembling, or pretend that the wound no longer aches. I am not offended by your tears. I created the heart with the ability to weep because some burdens are too deep for ordinary speech. When words fall apart, tears continue speaking, and I understand their language. My beloved child, there were nights when you tried to pray, but all you could do was breathe heavily in the dark. You wanted to say something holy, something steady, something faithful, yet your soul felt too tired to form sentences. I heard you then. Your silence was not empty before me. Your tears became prayers carried by my spirit, rising from places in you that even you could not explain. Do not despise your softness. The world may teach you to hide it, to harden yourself, to act untouched, to cover the ache with busyness or pride. But I do not see a tender heart as weakness. I see soil that can still receive grace. I see a place where healing can be planted. A heart that can still weep is a heart that has not surrendered itself completely to stone. There is a word in the Psalms that says, I keep account of your wanderings and place your tears in my bottle. Let that truth rest gently within you. I do not lose what others dismiss. I do not overlook what others call small. I do not forget the tear that fell after the phone call ended. The tear that came while you were driving, the tear you wiped away quickly, so no one would ask what was wrong. My beloved child, each tear has been seen, not as evidence against you, but as proof that your heart has been carrying more than people knew. I have gathered what the world ignored. I have received what you thought had disappeared. Nothing that passes through my hands is meaningless. Even sorrow, when surrendered to me, can become a river that waters the dry places within your soul. You may wonder why healing takes time. You may ask why I do not simply remove the pain in an instant. My beloved child, I am able to do all things, but I do not heal you in a careless way. I do not tear open the wound without holding you. I do not rush through the hidden rooms of your heart like a stranger. I enter as Father. I sit with what hurts. I bring light slowly where the darkness has been long and deep. Think of Elijah beneath the broom tree, weary enough to ask for the journey to end. I did not meet him first with a lecture. I did not shame him for exhaustion. I gave him rest. I gave him food. I let him sleep. Then when his body and soul had been touched with mercy, I led him onward. My beloved child, I know when you need correction, but I also know when you first need tenderness. So rest your tears in my presence. Do not turn them into accusations against yourself. Do not say, I should be stronger by now. Do not say, if I had more faith, this would not hurt. Faith is not the absence of tears. Faith is bringing the tears to me, instead of letting them drown you alone. Faith is trusting that I can hold what still breaks your voice. I am not asking you to remain in sorrow forever. I am asking you to stop running from the place where healing must begin. Many try to heal by staying busy. They fill every silence, answer every message, chase every distraction, and call it moving on. But unhealed pain does not disappear, because the day becomes crowded. It waits beneath the noise. It rises again when the room grows quiet. My beloved child, let the quiet come. Do not fear it. I am there. When the memories return, I am there. When the old ache presses against your chest, I am there. When you do not know whether you are grieving what happened or grieving what you hoped would happen, I am there. I do not rush you past the truth. I walk with you through it. There are tears that cleanse the heart from bitterness. There are tears that soften the places disappointment made hard. There are tears that wash away the dust of false strength. Let them come when they come. Let them fall in my presence where they will not be mocked, measured, or misunderstood. But while you weep, my beloved child, listen also for my whisper. I will not let sorrow become your home. I will comfort you, and then I will raise you. I will sit beside you in the valley, and then I will guide your feet toward higher ground. The same Father who receives your tears also gives strength to rise after them. I am near to the brokenhearted. I am not near only when you sound confident. I am not near only when your prayers are beautiful. I am near when your breath shakes. I am near when you can only say, Father, help me. I am near when the ache is too tangled for language. Your weakness does not push me away. It draws my mercy closer. So bring me the tears you hid from others. Bring me the grief behind your smile. Bring me the sorrow you minimized because you did not want to seem dramatic. Bring me the ache of being misunderstood, the loneliness of being strong too long, and the exhaustion of holding pain that no one else knew how to carry. There is no shame in needing comfort. There is no failure in admitting that your heart became tired. Even my strongest servants had moments when their courage seemed small and their tears seemed larger than their songs. Yet I did not cast them aside. I met them in the hidden place, strengthened them in quiet, and taught them that my grace is not only for victorious days, but also for the hours when they could barely lift their head. Let this be your sacred turning. Not the place where you collapse without hope, but the place where you stop pretending and allow my love to reach the wound honestly. I am here with you even now. Rest here, my beloved child. Let my presence become the place where your tears lose their fear. As you rest in me, I will begin teaching you something holy, that mercy and truth are not enemies, and the healing I give will never require you to deny what happened. My beloved child, as your tears rest safely in my presence, I now want to teach your heart how to hold truth without losing mercy. Pain can make the soul reach for sharp things. When you have been wounded, misunderstood, or treated unfairly, it is easy to believe that truth must arrive with a harsh voice, that justice must look like someone being crushed, that healing can only begin when the one who hurt you is finally ashamed. But my ways are higher than the instincts of pain. I do not ask you to deny what happened. I do not ask you to paint darkness with gentle colors and call it light. I do not ask you to smile at what damaged you or pretend that betrayal was harmless. Truth matters to me. What was wrong remains wrong before my eyes. What was hidden is not invisible to me. What was excused by people is still weighed by my righteousness. Yet, my beloved child, truth without mercy becomes a stone in the hand. Mercy without truth becomes a covering over a wound that still needs cleansing. I do not separate them. In my kingdom, mercy and truth walk together like two hands carrying the same healing vessel. One hand reveals what must be seen. The other hand restores what has been broken. The world often chooses one side and loses the beauty of the other. Some people use truth to punish. They expose, accuse, shame, and call it righteousness. Others use mercy to avoid discomfort. They excuse, hide, minimize, and call it peace. But peace built on hidden infection will not last. And righteousness without compassion becomes a fire that burns more than it purifies. My beloved child, listen carefully. When I bring truth, I bring it like morning light entering a sick room. The light shows what needs care. It reveals what has been neglected. It uncovers what cannot remain hidden. But the purpose of the light is not humiliation. The purpose is healing. A physician does not uncover a wound to mock it. He uncovers it so cleansing can begin. There is a word in Micah that says to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. Notice how these are not enemies. Justice, mercy, and humility belong together. If you seek justice without humility, your own wound may begin to wear a crown. If you speak of mercy without justice, the wounded may remain unprotected. If you walk humbly with me, I will teach you when to speak, when to wait, when to forgive, and when to step away in wisdom. My beloved child, you may wonder if showing mercy means the wrong is forgotten. It does not. I remember with perfect understanding, yet I am not ruled by rage. I see every motive, every action, every consequence, yet my heart remains pure. This is what I am teaching you. I want you to see clearly without becoming cruel. I want you to forgive deeply without becoming blind. I want you to carry truth with clean hands. Think of a river flowing through a valley after a long storm. The water carries away what was loosened by the rain. It does not scream at the stones. It does not argue with the mud. It keeps moving steady and clear until the valley begins to breathe again. My mercy is like that river. It does not deny the storm. It washes what the storm exposed. My beloved child, there are people who caused pain because pain was already ruling them. There are people who spoke harshly because fear had trained their tongue. There are people who betrayed because they had never learned faithfulness in the hidden rooms of their own soul. This does not excuse them. It helps you place them in my hands without letting hatred become your teacher. If you allow bitterness to become the voice that interprets your past, it will also try to interpret your future. It will tell you never to trust again. It will call gentleness foolish. It will call suspicion wisdom. It will tell you that every open door is dangerous and every soft word is a trap. But my beloved child, I did not save your heart so it could become a locked room filled with old smoke. I want to purify your discernment, not destroy your tenderness. I want to give you wisdom, not suspicion. I want to restore your ability to love, but with clearer eyes and stronger boundaries. Mercy does not mean you return to the same place that crushed you. Truth does not mean you become hard enough to stop feeling. Together they lead you into holy freedom. Remember Peter after he denied my son. The truth of his failure was real. It could not be erased by pretending. He had said he would stand firm, yet fear overtook him. He wept bitterly. But when my son met him again, he did not ignore the denial, and he did not bury Peter beneath it. He restored him through love, calling him back into purpose. This is what mercy and truth do together. They face the failure, then open the road to restoration. My beloved child, I want you to receive that same pattern in your own soul. Let truth show you what must be named. Let mercy show you what can still be healed. Let truth protect you from returning to destructive places. Let mercy protect you from becoming a person who lives only to remember the destruction. Let truth draw the boundary. Let mercy keep your heart from hatred while you stand behind that boundary. There will be moments when people expect you to choose between being kind and being honest. Do not accept that false choice. You can speak gently and still speak clearly. You can forgive and still say no. You can pray for someone and still refuse to give them the keys to your inner life. You can release revenge and still allow consequences to stand. My mercy is not weakness, and my truth is not cruelty. So come near, my beloved child. Let me train your heart in the balance of heaven. Place your anger before me, and I will cleanse it until it no longer poisons you. Place your desire for justice before me, and I will purify it until it becomes aligned with my will. Place your fear before me, and I will teach you that mercy does not make you unsafe when wisdom walks beside it. I am bringing you into a deeper healing, not a healing that requires you to forget, not a healing that asks you to become small, but a healing where truth stands upright and mercy breathes through it. A healing where your heart becomes clear, tender, wise, and free. As this work continues within you, I will show you how to carry truth without using it as a weapon. I will teach you that the light I place in your hands is not meant to wound the lost, but to guide them toward the door where grace can begin, even while I keep your own soul covered in peace and love. My beloved child, as I teach you that mercy and truth walk together, I now want to guard your heart from a temptation that often enters quietly after pain. When you finally see what was hidden, when you finally understand what was done, when the pieces begin to fit and the confusion starts to clear, your wounded soul may feel a strong desire to use truth like a blade. You may want to expose, strike, answer, prove, and make others feel what they denied. I understand that desire. I know the ache behind it. I know how long you waited to be believed. I know how many nights you carried the truth alone while others rested in their own story. I know how painful it is when people who wounded you still walk with confidence while you are left collecting the broken pieces in silence. But my beloved child, truth was never given to you so you could become cruel with clean language. Truth is holy. Truth is light. Truth is not a knife for revenge, but a lamp for deliverance. When I place truth in your hands, I am not inviting you to become the darkness that harmed you. I am inviting you to walk with wisdom, courage, and a heart still surrendered to me. There is a difference between revealing what must be revealed and enjoying another person's shame. There is a difference between speaking with integrity and speaking from a wound that wants to punish. There is a difference between standing in truth and throwing truth like a stone. Know that difference because your healing depends on it. Remember the woman brought before my son. She stood surrounded by people who knew facts but lacked mercy. They had truth in their mouths but stones in their hands. They could point to what was wrong, yet they could not see the soul trembling before them. They wanted a verdict that would make them feel righteous. But my son bent down in silence, and heaven touched the dust. When he said that the one without sin should cast the first stone, he did not deny truth. He uncovered the hearts of the accusers. One by one their hands opened. The stones fell, the crowd left, and the woman remained before mercy that did not lie to her but also did not destroy her. He told her to go and leave sin behind. Do you see, my beloved child? Truth remained, but condemnation lost its throne. This is what I am teaching you. Do not become a person who gathers stones while calling it justice. Do not carry evidence with hatred burning beneath it. Do not rehearse someone's failure until your own heart grows harder than the wrong you are trying to expose. If I lead you to speak, speak clearly. If I lead you to set a boundary, set it firmly. If I lead you to bring something into the light, do it with clean hands. But do not let bitterness hold the lamp. My beloved child, the enemy would love to take your pain and dress it in the clothing of righteousness. He would love for you to say, I am only telling the truth, while your spirit secretly drinks from anger. He would love for you to win the argument and lose your tenderness. He would love for you to be correct and still become captive. I will not allow truth to be used that way in the heart I am healing. Truth from me brings freedom. It may hurt pride, but it does not delight in humiliation. Truth from me protects the vulnerable, corrects the wandering, exposes the hidden, and opens repentance. But truth that has been poisoned by revenge leaves the speaker restless, heavy, and still chained to the one who caused the wound. Ask gently, my beloved child, why do you want to speak? Is it to protect what is sacred? Is it to stop harm? Is it to walk in honesty? Or is it to make someone feel small because they once made you feel small? Bring that answer to me. I am not asking you to pretend your motives are perfect. I am asking you to let me purify them. There will be moments when silence is not fear but wisdom. There will be moments when speaking is not anger but obedience. I will teach you the difference. Not every hidden thing must be shouted from the roof before it's time. Not every person deserves access to the record of your pain. Not every battle requires your voice. Sometimes I defend truth through your restraint. Sometimes I defend truth through your clarity. Sometimes I defend truth by removing you from the place where your words would only be twisted again. My beloved child, I want your heart to remain soft without becoming careless. I want your voice to remain honest without becoming sharp. I want your courage to remain strong without becoming proud. When truth rises, let it rise with prayer. Let it pass through my presence before it passes through your lips. Let it be washed of spite, fear, and the hunger to be seen as right. Think of a surgeon holding a sharp instrument. In the wrong hands, sharpness can destroy. In skilled hands, it can remove what is diseased and save life. Truth is sharp in the same way. When held by anger, it wounds beyond what is necessary. When held by love and wisdom, it can cut away deception and make healing possible. I am not asking you to protect the darkness. I am asking you to protect your soul while the darkness is exposed. I am not asking you to keep secrets that allow harm to continue. I am asking you not to become addicted to the feeling of exposing. My justice does not need your hatred to be complete. My light does not need your bitterness to shine. If you must speak, speak as one who has been with me. Speak without trembling for approval. Speak without swelling with pride. Speak without delighting in another person's fall. Let your words carry weight because they are clean, not because they are loud. Let your truth be steady, not frantic. Let your heart remain under my hand. My beloved child, I am healing the part of you that wants to use truth as armor because you once felt powerless. I am restoring the part of you that thought harshness was the only way to stay safe. I am teaching you that you can be honest and still be gentle. You can be firm and still be free from hatred. You can stand in the light without throwing fire at shadows. As you learn, your soul will become quieter. You will no longer need to make every person understand everything. You will no longer need to turn every wound into a public case. You will trust me with timing, consequence, correction, and restoration. And from that trust, I will lead you into the next lesson: how to forgive without returning to the place that broke you, and how to keep holy boundaries around the heart I am making whole. My beloved child, as I teach you to carry truth without turning it into a weapon, I now want to guide you into a freedom that many misunderstand. I call you to forgive, but I do not call you to hand your heart back into careless hands. I call you to release hatred, but I do not call you to return to the place where your soul was repeatedly wounded. Forgiveness is holy, but so are the boundaries I place around what is precious within you. My beloved child, forgiveness does not mean the wound was small. It does not mean the betrayal did not matter. It does not mean you were too sensitive, too weak, or too emotional. Forgiveness means you have chosen not to let the one who hurt you remain seated inside your heart as a ruler. It means you place the debt, the anger, the unanswered questions, and the ache of what should have been into my hands. But listen carefully. Releasing someone from your hatred is not the same as restoring their access to your life. Mercy can open your heart toward me, while wisdom closes a door toward danger. Love can pray for a person and still refuse to stand again in the path where destruction keeps walking. I do not ask my children to confuse peace with exposure to repeated harm. There is a word in Proverbs that says to guard your heart, because everything you do flows from it. This is not a command to become cold. It is a command to treat your inner life as sacred. Your heart is not a public road where every careless traveler may pass through. It is a garden I have planted, and a garden needs gates, light pruning, and watchful care. Without boundaries, even good soil can be trampled. My beloved child, some people have taught you that forgiveness means pretending nothing happened. Others have taught you that if you really love, you must keep allowing the same wound to be opened again and again. But that is not my way. My love is patient, but it is not blind. My mercy is deep, but it does not partner with darkness. My grace restores the repentant, but it does not require the wounded to remain trapped in unsafe cycles. I know the struggle in you. You wonder if setting a boundary means you have failed to forgive. You wonder if stepping away means your heart is hard. You wonder if saying no makes you unkind. My beloved child, a boundary is not bitterness. A boundary is wisdom with a clean heart. Bitterness says, I want you to suffer. A boundary says, I will not allow this harm to continue ruling my life. Remember Nehemiah when he rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem. The broken walls were not rebuilt because the people hated the outside world. They were rebuilt because what was sacred needed protection. The city could not flourish while its gates were burned and its walls lay open. In the same way, I am rebuilding holy walls within you. Not walls of isolation, not walls of fear, walls of dignity, walls of discernment, walls that allow love to grow without allowing destruction to enter freely. My beloved child, you may forgive someone and still need distance. You may bless someone in prayer and still know they are not safe for your closeness. You may release resentment and still refuse to keep explaining your pain to one who keeps repeating the same harm. This is not cruelty. This is maturity. This is the wisdom that comes when I begin healing the heart and teaching it to recognize both grace and danger. Do not let guilt pull you back into old places I have led you out of. Sometimes guilt sounds tender, but it is only fear wearing soft clothing. It says, what if they think you are cold? What if they say you are unforgiving? What if they accuse you of changing? My beloved child, you are changing. That is part of the healing. You are no longer allowing your compassion to become a doorway for confusion. You are no longer offering endless access to those who do not honor what I am restoring in you. When my son told his disciples to be wise as serpents and innocent as doves, he was not asking them to choose between purity and discernment. He was teaching them to walk with both. Innocence without wisdom can be harmed. Wisdom without innocence can become harsh. I am giving you both. A heart that does not seek revenge and eyes that can see clearly. A spirit that can forgive and feet that know when to step away. My beloved child, forgive because hatred is too heavy for the life I am calling you into. Forgive because bitterness turns memory into a prison. Forgive because I have forgiven you with a mercy deeper than you can measure. But keep boundaries because your peace matters. Keep boundaries because your calling matters. Keep boundaries because I am not healing you, so you can return unchanged to what kept breaking you. There may be times when reconciliation is possible, but reconciliation requires fruit, not only words. It requires repentance, humility, changed behavior, and a willingness to honor what was once ignored. Do not rush back because someone spoke softly for a moment. Watch the fruit. Listen for peace. Let me guide you. A door should not reopen simply because loneliness knocks upon it. I am not asking you to hate the past. I am asking you to stop living inside it. I am not asking you to curse the person who hurt you. I am asking you to remove them from the throne of your emotions. I am not asking you to become suspicious of everyone. I am asking you to let wisdom stand beside tenderness as you move forward. My beloved child, the boundary I help you set is not a wall against love. It is a shelter where healthy love can finally grow. It protects your prayer, your peace, your clarity, your tenderness, and the new work I am doing within you. Do not apologize for protecting what I am healing. You will not move forward as someone empty, but as someone guarded by love. You will not become colder, only clearer. You will not become harder, only wiser. I am teaching your heart to remain open to goodness while closed to what repeatedly steals peace. That is not fear, that is holiness. Forgive and let the chain fall from your heart. Set the boundary and let your soul breathe again. Walk forward without hatred, but also without handing the keys of your inner life back to those who treated it carelessly. I am teaching you a holy freedom, one that releases the past without reopening the wound, one that blesses without returning to bondage, one that carries mercy while walking in wisdom. And as you learn this sacred balance, I will show you that even betrayal did not destroy your worth. What others mishandled did not reduce your value, because your value has always rested in my hands, not theirs. My beloved child, as I teach you to forgive while keeping holy boundaries, I now want to speak to the place where betrayal tried to rewrite your worth. You may still carry the question quietly. Was I not enough? Was my love too much? Was my trust foolish? Did my sincerity make me weak? But I tell you with tenderness and authority, what happened to you did not reduce the value I placed within you. Betrayal is painful because it enters through a door that was opened by trust. It is not like the wound of a stranger passing by. It touches deeper because you once believed that person would handle your heart with care. You offered honesty, patience, loyalty, forgiveness, and hope. You gave from the clean places within you. Then what you gave was mishandled, ignored, or used against you, and the pain made you question the goodness that was in you. My beloved child, do not condemn your own heart for having loved sincerely. Your tenderness was not the mistake. Their inability to honor it was the tragedy. Your openness was not proof of foolishness. It was proof that your heart still had light. I am not ashamed of the love I placed inside you. I am not disappointed that you wanted to believe the best. I only desire to heal that love, purify it with wisdom, and teach it where it may safely rest. There is a scripture that says, "You are precious in my sight and honored, and that I love you." Let that truth become louder than the voice of rejection. The way someone treated you is not the measurement of your worth. Their abandonment is not a mirror of your value. Their betrayal is not a verdict from heaven. It is a revelation of what they were able to carry and what they were not yet able to honor. My beloved child, I saw the moments when you tried to act normal after your trust had been shaken. I saw you smile while your thoughts were still bleeding. I saw you replay conversations searching for the exact moment everything changed. I saw you wonder if you should have noticed sooner, spoken, sooner left, sooner trusted less. I know how betrayal causes the mind to become a courtroom where the wounded one keeps questioning himself. Come out of that courtroom. You do not need to punish yourself for what another soul chose to do with your trust. Learn, yes. Grow, yes. Let wisdom open your eyes, yes. But do not turn learning into self-accusation. Do not keep striking your own heart because someone else failed to guard it. Remember my son in the garden, betrayed with a kiss by one who had walked near him, eaten with him, heard his teaching, and seen his compassion. Betrayal came close to him, but it did not change who he was. It did not make his love less pure. It did not make his calling less holy. It revealed the darkness in the betrayer, not a defect in the one betrayed. My beloved child, let this settle within you. Being betrayed does not mean your love was worthless. It means your love was placed in hands that could not carry its weight. I do not want your pain to convince you that kindness should die. I do not want betrayal to make you suspicious of every gentle voice. I do not want disappointment to teach you that safety can only be found by becoming hard. A stone cannot be wounded as easily, but a stone also cannot receive rain, grow roots, or bear fruit. I am not turning your heart into stone. I am making it wise-guarded, clean, and alive. There is a difference between a heart that is healed and a heart that is closed. A closed heart says no one will ever enter again. A healed heart says, I will no longer give sacred access without discernment. A closed heart is ruled by fear. A healed heart is guided by wisdom. This is the work I am doing in you. My beloved child, the betrayal did not destroy the gifts within you. Your ability to love is still there. Your ability to trust can be restored. Your ability to hope has not been erased. It may feel buried under disappointment, but I know how to call buried things back into life. I am the God who brings streams into dry ground and breath into places that seemed finished. Do not let the one who betrayed you become the author of your future. Do not let their choices teach you to expect pain from everyone. Do not allow one season of being mishandled to become the law by which you judge every new door. I will teach you discernment without fear. I will teach you tenderness without blindness. I will teach you strength without bitterness. You may ask, my beloved child, how do I know my worth if someone I trusted treated me as if I had none? You know it by returning to my voice. You know it by letting me name you again. You know it by remembering that before anyone chose you or rejected you, before anyone held you or released you, before anyone praised you or misunderstood you, I had already called you mine. Your value did not begin with human affection, so it cannot end with human betrayal. Your worth was not born in their attention, so it cannot die in their absence. I formed you with intention. I breathed purpose into you. I placed light within you that no careless hand can extinguish. My beloved child, grieve what happened, but do not bow to it. Let the tears come, but do not let them become chains. Let the lesson remain, but do not let it become a prison. I will use even this painful chapter to make you deeper, steadier, and more aware of the sacredness of your own heart. One day you will see that betrayal did not end your story. It separated you from what could not walk with your destiny. It revealed where trust needed wisdom. It taught you that love must remain connected to truth. And as I heal you, you will not return as a smaller soul. You will rise with gentleness that has roots with peace, that has strength, and with a worth no betrayal can touch. I have not wasted the years you think were stolen. I have not ignored the affection that seemed poured into empty ground. In my hands, even sorrow becomes material for wisdom. Even disappointment becomes a place where discernment grows. Even the memory that once made you tremble can become a marker of how faithfully I carried you through and how surely I am still leading you into light. So rest, my beloved child. You are still precious, you are still called, you are still held. What was mishandled by human hands remains treasured in mine, and as I restore your sense of worth, I will also show you how even the pit of betrayal can become the beginning of a testimony shaped by my goodness. My beloved child, as I restore your sense of worth after betrayal, I now want you to see what I can do with the very place where others thought your story would end. You looked at the pit and saw abandonment. You looked at the darkness and saw loss. You looked at the closed way above you and wondered how anything good could ever rise from a place so low. But I am not limited by the depth of the pit. I have never needed perfect circumstances to begin a testimony. I have often chosen the hidden, the rejected, the forgotten, and the wounded as the place where my glory begins its quiet work. The pit may look like an ending to human eyes, but in my hands it can become the first page of a restoration no one expected. My beloved child, remember Joseph. He was not thrown into difficulty by strangers who knew nothing of him. He was betrayed by his own brothers, people who had shared his home, known his voice, and carried the same family story. That kind of wound reaches deep. Betrayal from far away hurts, but betrayal from near the heart shakes the ground beneath the soul. Joseph was placed into a pit, and for a moment it looked as if the dream over his life had been swallowed by dust. The sky was above him, but he could not reach it. The voices of those who abandoned him faded. He had no explanation, no defense, no way to pull himself out. Yet I was not absent in that pit. I was present in a way he could not yet understand. My beloved child, I know the pit you have known. It may not have been made of stone or dirt. It may have been a season of rejection, a betrayal in a relationship, a family wound, a false accusation, a door closing without warning, or a silence from someone you trusted. It may have been the place where you asked, Father, why did this happen after I tried to do what was right? I heard that question. I did not despise it. I did not turn away because your faith trembled. I know that pain can make even a trusting heart ask difficult things, but I want you to understand this. The presence of a pit does not mean the absence of my purpose. The cruelty of people does not cancel the dream I placed within you. The hands that pushed you down do not have authority over the height to which I can raise you. Joseph did not know the whole road while he was inside the first wound. He did not yet see Egypt. He did not yet see the palace. He did not yet see the day when the very hunger of nations would be answered through the wisdom I formed within him. He only knew the pain of being rejected and carried away. Yet even when he could not see the map, I was guiding the path. My beloved child, this is why I ask you not to judge your future by the pit. The pit is loud while you are inside it. It tells you that this is the end. It tells you that you have been forgotten. It tells you that what was promised must have failed. But the pit is not a prophet. Pain is not the author of your destiny. I am. There is a word in Genesis where Joseph later said that what others meant for harm, I meant for good. Do not misunderstand this. I did not call the evil good. I did not approve of betrayal. I did not bless jealousy, cruelty, or abandonment. But I revealed that no evil purpose is stronger than my redeeming hand. I can take what was intended to break you and use it to shape wisdom, compassion, strength, and authority within you. My beloved child, I am doing more than removing you from the pit. I am forming something in you that could not have been formed in easier places. I am teaching you to trust when answers are not immediate. I am teaching you to remain pure when others act with envy. I am teaching you to walk with integrity when no one is clapping. I am teaching you that my presence is not proven only by comfort, but also by the grace that keeps you alive in the hidden valley. You may look back and say, I lost time there. I lost trust there. I lost joy there. I lost a part of myself there. But I say to you, I know how to gather what was scattered. I know how to restore what became tired. I know how to turn scars into signs of survival, not symbols of defeat. Nothing surrendered to me is wasted. The pit did not keep Joseph from his calling. It prepared him for a purpose larger than personal vindication. When he was lifted, he did not merely receive comfort for himself. He became a vessel through whom many lives were preserved. My beloved child, this is how I often work. I heal you, not only so you can breathe again, but so your healing may one day become shelter for someone else who is still trapped in the dark. Do not rush the testimony before I finish the healing. A testimony is not simply a story of pain. It is pain touched by my faithfulness. It is the wound after mercy has entered. It is the place where you can look back without being controlled by what happened. Let me complete the work. Let me remove the bitterness. Let me strengthen the places that still tremble. My beloved child, the people who pushed you into the pit did not know they were pushing you closer to dependence on me. They did not know that what they used to diminish you would become soil for deeper roots. They did not know that the darkness they left you in would teach you to recognize my light more clearly. They thought they had reduced you, but I was preparing to reveal you in a new way. So do not curse the pit forever. Do not worship it either. Do not build your identity around being wounded. Let it become a chapter I redeem, not a home you remain inside. I will lift you in my time. I will teach you through what you endured. I will bring forth a testimony that does not glorify pain, but glorifies my faithfulness within it. I have not forgotten one tear, one lonely night, or one prayer whispered from the bottom of that darkness. Stand slowly, my beloved child. Hope is not gone. The dream is not dead. The pit is not the final place. I am working even now, shaping the hidden road from sorrow to purpose, from rejection to wisdom, from betrayal to testimony. And as you begin to see that I can turn the pit into a testimony, I will also teach you to trust that hidden truth will rise at the appointed time, even when it seems buried beyond human reach. My beloved child, after I have shown you that the pit can become a testimony, I now want you to trust me. With the truths that still seem hidden, you have wondered whether what was done in secret will remain secret forever. You have wondered whether the false version of the story will keep walking freely while the truth sits buried beneath silence. You have asked me why some things appear covered, why some people seem untouched, why the record of what happened has not yet been opened before the eyes that need to see. I hear those questions, my beloved child. I know the ache of waiting while deception appears confident. I know the weariness of watching people believe only what was presented to them. I know how painful it is when you carry the real story quietly, not because it is small, but because you have no strength left to keep proving it. Yet I tell you, hidden truth is not lost truth. Buried truth is not defeated truth. Truth held in my hands is never in danger. There is an appointed time for what must rise. I do not move according to the impatience of the wound, but according to the wisdom of the Father who sees every angle, every heart, every consequence, and every season. If I uncover something too soon, hearts may not be ready to receive it. If I allow something to remain hidden for a while, it is not because I am weak. It is because I am arranging the moment when truth can stand with purpose, not merely noise. My beloved child, remember Esther and Mordecai. There was a hidden threat moving against my people. Plans were whispered, documents were sealed, and a man full of pride believed he could shape the future through secret schemes. Mordecai had once done good that seemed forgotten. His faithfulness sat quietly in the records unnoticed by the very people who benefited from it. But I had not forgotten. In one night, sleep left the king. What seemed like a simple, restless night became the doorway through which a forgotten record was opened. The good deed of Mordecai was brought back into the light at exactly the right time. Do you see, my beloved child? I can use a sleepless night, a delayed conversation, a misplaced question, a sudden memory, or an ordinary detail to turn the course of a story. You may think I need thunder to defend truth. I do not. You may think I need a crowd, a stage, or a public announcement. I do not. I can move through quiet timing. I can bring one sentence to the surface. I can cause one heart to remember. I can allow one hidden document, one honest witness, one unexpected opening, one small interruption to reveal what pride believed would remain covered. Do not despise the quietness of my process. Seeds break open under the ground before anyone sees green above the soil. Dawn begins beyond the horizon before the room fills with light. A child grows in the hidden place before being held in the open. In the same way, my work often begins where your eyes cannot follow. The fact that you cannot see movement does not mean I am still. My beloved child, I know you may have wanted the truth to rise in the exact way you imagined. You may have wanted a direct apology, a clear confession, a public correction, a moment when everyone finally understood. Sometimes I will bring such moments. Sometimes I will bring something deeper. I may allow truth to rise first within you so that you no longer depend on the recognition of others to breathe. I may reveal enough to set you free, while still teaching you not to worship public validation. There is a word that says, nothing hidden will remain hidden forever, and nothing concealed will remain unknown forever. Let that truth comfort you, but let it also purify you. It means I see what others did. It also means I see what lives in your own heart. So while you wait for truth outside you to rise, allow me to keep truth alive inside you. Let me remove bitterness, pride, fear, and the secret desire to see others crushed. I want truth to make you clean, not cruel. My beloved child, when truth rises at my appointed time, it will not need your panic to support it. You will not need to force every door open. You will not need to run after every ear. You will not need to exhaust yourself trying to control who believes you. Keep walking in integrity. Keep your hands clean. Keep your words measured. Keep your heart near me. The harvest of truth grows best in the soil of patience and faithfulness. There are people who may not understand now, but one day they will see the fruit. There are stories that may look unfinished now, but one day the missing page will be turned. There are accusations that may feel heavy now, but one day they will lose their strength because my light will make them thin like mist before morning. But I want you to remember this. When the hidden truth rises, do not let pride rise with it. Do not say, now they will all know I was right, with hatred sitting in your chest. Instead, bow your heart before me and say, Father, keep me humble as you bring light. For the one who is vindicated must still remain gentle. The one who is cleared must still remain surrendered. I do not restore your name so bitterness can wear a crown. I restore so peace can rule. My beloved child, trust me with the hidden things. Trust me with the misunderstood season. Trust me with what was spoken in rooms you never entered. Trust me with what was done behind closed doors. I was there. I saw. I heard. I recorded with perfect righteousness, and I will reveal with perfect wisdom. Rest your need to uncover everything immediately. Let my appointed time carry what your anxious hands cannot hold. What is true does not expire while it waits. What belongs to light will not remain under darkness forever. Walk forward not as one abandoned by truth, but as one sheltered by the God who knows how to reveal it. Until then, my beloved child, live in such a way that when truth appears, it finds you peaceful. Let your days not be consumed by waiting for exposure. Let your prayers become stronger than your need to be proven right. Let your obedience become louder than rumors. Let your faith become a witness that I was holding you even when others could not see the story. I am not only preparing the moment when truth rises, I am preparing you to stand in that moment without losing the softness I have restored again. And as you learn to trust my timing, I will guard you from another danger that often grows in long waiting. I will teach you not to let bitterness become your master while you wait for my light to rise. My beloved child, while you wait for my light to reveal what has been hidden, I want to protect you from a danger that can grow quietly in the waiting. Bitterness often does not enter the heart as an enemy. It comes disguised as protection. It tells you that if you stay angry, you will never be hurt again. It tells you that if you keep remembering the offense, you will remain safe. It tells you that hardness is wisdom, but I tell you with love, bitterness may begin as a shield. Yet if you let it remain, it becomes a chain. I know why it came close to you. I know the pain that opened the door. I know the betrayal that made your trust tremble. I know the unfairness that made your heart ask why the wrong seemed to move freely while you carried the wound. I do not rebuke you for feeling the ache. I do not condemn you because anger rose in you when something precious was mishandled. Anger can be a sign that your soul recognizes that something was wrong. But anger must come to me before it becomes bitterness. My beloved child, bitterness is anger that has stayed too long without surrender. It is grief that has not been placed into my hands. It is disappointment that keeps drinking from the same old memory until the whole inner life becomes sour. At first it may feel like strength. It may give your pain a voice. It may make you feel less helpless. But slowly it begins to darken how you see people, how you hear words, how you receive love, and how you imagine the future. There is a word that warns you not to let a root of bitterness grow up and trouble many. Notice that bitterness is described like a root. A root is hidden before it is visible. It grows underground quietly, while the surface may still look normal. You may still smile, still work, still speak kindly, still attend to daily responsibilities, but underneath resentment may be wrapping itself around your thoughts, drinking the water that should have nourished peace. I do not want this for you, my beloved child. I did not bring you through pain so that pain could become the gardener of your soul. I did not preserve your heart so that resentment could plant thorns where mercy should bloom. I did not carry you through the long night so that you would wake and build a house for the very darkness that wounded you. Think of Naomi after loss covered her life. She returned carrying sorrow so deep that she said not to call her pleasant, but bitter. I heard the grief behind those words. I did not shame her for being honest about her emptiness, but I also did not let bitterness become the last name over her story. Through quiet faithfulness, through Ruth walking beside her, through provision she did not yet see, I began weaving restoration. What felt empty was not finished. What sounded bitter was not beyond my tenderness. My beloved child, this is how I look at you. I know the parts of you that want to say, do not call me hopeful anymore. Do not call me trusting anymore. Do not ask me to believe in goodness after what happened. I understand that weariness. Yet I am near to that place not to shame it, but to heal it before it becomes your identity. Bitterness will try to convince you that it is honest, but often it hides another wound beneath its voice. It hides fear, it hides grief, it hides the ache of not receiving an apology. It hides the humiliation of being misunderstood. It hides the loneliness of carrying what no one else seemed to notice. Bring me what bitterness is guarding. Do not only give me the anger, give me the disappointment beneath it. Give me the memory that still stings. Give me the expectation that shattered in your hands. I will not ask you to bless what was evil. I will not ask you to call betrayal a gift. I will not ask you to return to those who keep trampling what is sacred. But I will ask you to stop feeding the bitterness that keeps the wound alive inside you. Every time you rehearse what they did with hatred, you reopen a door I am trying to close. Every time you imagine their fall as the price of your healing, you give them more power than they deserve. My beloved child, your freedom cannot depend on their suffering. Your peace cannot wait for their confession. Your joy cannot be held hostage by their awakening. I am able to deal with them. I am able to correct, reveal, humble, restore, or remove according to my wisdom. But while I handle what belongs to me, let me also handle what is happening inside you. Come to me when the old anger rises. Come before you speak from it. Come before you build a decision around it. Come before it hardens into something you begin calling your personality. Sit with me honestly. Say, Father, this still hurts. Say, Father, I do not know how to release this. Say, Father, I want to be free, but part of me still wants to hold on. I can work with honesty. I can heal what is brought into light. Forgiveness does not always arrive as one sudden feeling. Sometimes it is a daily surrender, a turning of the heart again and again, a refusal to drink poison because another person sinned, a quiet decision to let my spirit breathe where resentment once sat. You may need to release the same memory many times. Do not be discouraged. Each surrender loosens the root. My beloved child, I want to give you a clean heart, not an erased memory. There is a difference. An erased memory would pretend nothing happened. A clean heart remembers without being ruled. It learns without hating. It grows without closing. It walks forward with wisdom, but not with a poisoned spirit. I will teach you to notice the difference between remembrance and captivity. Remembrance can become wisdom when it is held in my presence. Captivity keeps the same scene playing until your heart forgets the door is open. I am not asking you to deny the past. I am asking you to stop letting the past breathe through every future moment. Let me place distance between the wound and your identity, between the event and your tomorrow, with gentle truth today. Let bitterness lose its throne. Let me sit there instead. Let my peace govern what pain once governed. Let my mercy soften what waiting made hard. Let my truth protect you without allowing resentment to possess you. I am not only bringing hidden truth into the light, I am also bringing your heart out of the shadow of bitterness. And as you loosen your grip on resentment, I will teach you how to be still, how to place the pain in my hands, and how to rest while I carry what you were never meant to hold. My beloved child, now that I am loosening the grip of bitterness within you, I invite you into a stillness that your wounded heart may not know how to trust at first. You have been carrying the pain like a heavy bowl filled to the edge, afraid that if you set it down, the truth of what happened would somehow be forgotten. But I tell you gently, you do not need to keep holding the wound in order for me to remember it. I remember. I saw it. I know where it began, how deeply it entered, and how long it stayed. My beloved child, be still does not mean pretend. Be still does not mean silence your grief as if nothing mattered. Be still means stop fighting the battle with hands that were never meant to carry it. It means opening your fingers around the memory, the question, the accusation, the disappointment, and placing all of it into my hands, where pain can become something other than a prison. There is a word in Scripture that says, "Be still and know that I am God." That word is not a cold command thrown at a crying soul. It is an invitation. It is the voice of a father saying, "Come away from the noise, come away from the endless trial, come away from the exhausting need to solve what only I can redeem." My beloved child, you have tried to hold everything together. You have tried to make sense of every detail. You have searched the past like a person walking through ashes looking for one remaining piece that would explain the fire. You asked why they did it, why they left, why they lied, why they changed, why they seemed untouched, while you were still trembling inside. But some answers will not heal you, even if you receive them. Some explanations only keep the wound open because they make you return again and again to the place where the pain began. I am not withholding peace from you until every question is answered. I am offering peace while some questions remain unanswered. This is how I teach your soul to rest in me, not in explanations. There is a peace that comes when circumstances become clear, but there is a deeper peace that comes when you know my hands are holding what your mind cannot untangle. Remember Hannah when she came before me with a heart weighed down by sorrow. Her lips moved, but her voice was barely heard. Others misunderstood her pain, but I did not. She poured out her soul before me, and after she placed the burden in my presence, she went away with a changed face. My beloved child, that is what I want to do for you. Not merely change the situation around you, but change the weight inside you. You may come to me without polished words. You may come tired, confused, angry, afraid, uncertain, and honest. I do not require you to make your pain sound beautiful before I receive it. Bring it as it is. Bring the memory that still burns. Bring the name that still makes your chest tighten. Bring the apology you never received. Bring the truth that was never acknowledged. Bring the part of you that still wants to understand before it can let go. Place it in my hands, not because it was small, not because it did not matter, not because I expect you to move on quickly. Place it in my hands because my hands can hold what yours were never created to carry forever. My beloved child, the pain has been heavy, not only because of what happened, but because you have been trying to manage its meaning alone. You have tried to decide what it says about you. You have wondered if being abandoned means you were not worthy of staying. You have wondered if being betrayed means you were foolish to trust. You have wondered if being misunderstood means your voice no longer matters. But pain is a poor interpreter. It tells stories through fear. It turns wounds into identities. It makes a season sound like a sentence. Let me interpret it. Let me speak over it. Let me tell you what it means and what it does not mean. It does not mean you are forgotten. It does not mean you are unlovable. It does not mean your tenderness was wasted. It does not mean your future has been stolen. It means you passed through a valley where my presence was closer than your feelings could recognize, and I am now leading you out with wisdom that will remain. My beloved child, when you place the pain in my hands, you are not losing control. You are returning control to the only one who can carry it without being consumed. You have learned how exhausting it is to keep the matter in your own grasp. It follows you into sleep. It sits beside you in silence. It interrupts joy. It makes simple moments heavy. But when you surrender it to me, little by little, space opens within your soul. You may not feel light all at once. Healing often arrives like breath returning slowly to someone who has been underwater too long. First, there is a small inhale, then another, then a moment when you realize the memory still exists, but it no longer commands your whole body. This is my work. Quiet, patient, steady, and faithful. Do not take the pain back every time fear whispers that I may forget. I will not forget. Do not pick it up again every time your heart demands a new answer. Ask me, but do not bind yourself to the answer. Do not return to old conversations in your mind as though your peace is hidden there. Your peace is hidden in me. My beloved child, be still before me today. Let your heart sit in my presence without performing strength. Let your breath slow, let your hands open. Say within your soul, Father, I give you what I cannot fix. I give you what I cannot understand. I give you what I cannot carry anymore. I receive it, my child, and I will not mishandle it. The pain you place in my hands will not be ignored. It will be transformed. I will take what was sharp and teach you wisdom. I will take what was heavy and teach you compassion. I will take what was confusing and teach you discernment. I will take what tried to bury you and make it part of the ground from which new life rises. Rest now, my beloved child. Even now I am helping you breathe again. You are not abandoning justice by becoming still. You are not betraying your story by placing it in my hands. You are choosing trust over torment, surrender over exhaustion, and my presence over the endless court of your own thoughts. And as you learn this holy stillness, I will prepare your heart for a deeper victory, the kind that does not always strike back but remains dignified, guarded, and free while I handle what belongs to me. My beloved child, after I have taught you to place the pain in my hands, I now want to show you a victory that the world often fails to recognize. The world calls it power when someone strikes back quickly. The world applauds the sharp answer, the public reply, the moment when a wounded person makes the one who hurt them feel small. But my kingdom sees deeper than reaction. Sometimes the greatest victory is not in answering the insult, but in refusing to let the insult take command of your soul. I know the fire that rises when you are treated unfairly. I know the heat in your chest when someone speaks against you, twists your story, mocks your pain, or uses a moment of weakness to make you look small. I know how strongly your flesh wants to defend, correct, expose, and return the wound. I do not pretend that this feeling is easy. I know it can feel like silence is defeat. But my beloved child, there is a silence that comes from fear, and there is a silence that comes from holy strength. Victory is not always loud. Sometimes victory is a closed mouth and a surrendered heart. Sometimes victory is walking away before anger turns your words into weapons. Sometimes victory is choosing not to throw back the dust that someone has thrown at you. Sometimes victory is letting me carry the matter while you keep your spirit clean. Remember David when Shimei cursed him. David was not sitting on a throne with everything secure. He was fleeing, humiliated, wounded by betrayal within his own house, and surrounded by grief. Then Shimei came out cursing, throwing stones, and speaking cruelly. David had men with him who were ready to silence that voice immediately. They wanted to strike back. They saw the insult and wanted to answer it. But David did not let the insult rule his hand. He did not allow the dust thrown by another man to become the master of his spirit. He chose restraint. He placed the matter beneath my sight. He trusted that I could see his suffering and return good in my own way. My beloved child, that restraint was not weakness. It was a king refusing to let pain drag him down into a smaller version of himself. I want you to understand this deeply. Not every battle deserves your immediate response. Not every accusation deserves your breath. Not every insult deserves access to your peace. There are moments when answering back would only tie you tighter to the one who wounded you. There are moments when the reply you want to give would make you feel strong for a moment, but leave your soul heavier afterward. You may ask, my beloved child, does this mean I should allow people to harm me without consequence? No. I have already taught you holy boundaries. I have already told you that forgiveness is not returning to danger. Restraint is not permission for evil to continue. Silence is not agreement with falsehood. Refusing revenge does not mean refusing wisdom. You may step away, you may establish distance, you may speak truth when I lead you, but you do not need hatred to prove that harm was real. There is a word that says, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. This does not mean every gentle answer changes the other person. Sometimes it changes you. Sometimes gentleness keeps your own heart from catching fire. Sometimes restraint closes a door that rage wanted to open. Sometimes the answer of peace is not for the one provoking you, but for the soul I am protecting. My beloved child, when someone tries to provoke you, they often want to pull you into their atmosphere. If they are bitter, they want your spirit bitter too. If they are angry, they want your words burning too. If they are chaotic, they want your peace shattered too. But you do not have to breathe the air of every room you enter. You can remain covered by my presence. You can stand in a different spirit. Think of a person standing near a muddy river. If they jump in to wrestle with the one throwing mud, both will come out covered. But if they step back, wash their hands, and continue walking, the mud does not become their identity. My beloved child, I am not asking you to pretend the mud was not thrown. I am asking you not to build your home inside it. I have seen the times you wanted to respond. I have seen the message you typed and deleted. I have seen the conversations you imagined where you finally said everything perfectly. I have seen the part of you that wanted them to feel ashamed, exposed, and powerless. Bring that part to me without fear. I will not shame you for being honest. I will cleanse the motive beneath the wound and teach your heart a better strength. There is a strength that proves itself by winning. There is a greater strength that does not need to prove itself at all. My son stood before those who mocked him, accused him, and struck him, yet he did not surrender his identity to their cruelty. He entrusted himself to the one who judges justly. My beloved child, this is the path of holy victory. Not passivity, not cowardice, surrendered authority. When you refuse to strike back from a wounded spirit, you create space for me to move. You stop placing yourself in the center as judge and avenger. You step back into the position of a child who trusts the Father. I can reach places your anger cannot reach. I can correct what your revenge would only complicate. I can reveal truth without making your heart ugly in the process. So when the old urge rises, pause, breathe. Ask me what kind of victory I am offering you in that moment. Is it the victory of speaking with clarity? Is it the victory of leaving quietly? Is it the victory of setting a boundary? Is it the victory of praying instead of reacting? I will guide you. My peace will teach you. My beloved child, you do not lose dignity when you refuse to answer cruelty with cruelty. You preserve it. You do not become weak when you place judgment in my hands. You become free. You do not let the offender win when you refuse revenge. You break the chain that would have made their darkness live inside you. Walk forward without carrying the need to strike back. Let me defend what needs defending. Let me correct what needs correcting. Let me heal what still trembles inside you. Your victory is not found in becoming louder than the one who wounded you. Your victory is found in remaining mine while the storm passes, in keeping your heart clean, your hands open, and your spirit free. And as you learn this deeper victory, I will also teach you to receive my correction without fear, because not every painful removal is rejection, and not every exposure is meant to destroy you. My beloved child, as I teach you that victory is not always found in striking back, I now want to speak to the fear that rises when I begin correcting what is unhealthy within you. Sometimes when I touch a place that still hurts you, think I am punishing you. When I close a door, you think I am rejecting you. When I expose something hidden, you think I am trying to shame you. But my beloved child, my correction is not rejection. It is love refusing to leave you bound. I know correction can feel frightening when your heart is already tired. You have known voices that corrected without tenderness. You have known people who used your weakness as a reason to withdraw affection. You have known moments when being confronted felt like being abandoned. So when I begin to show you what must change, part of you trembles and wonders if my love is leaving. It is not leaving. It is coming closer. A father who loves his child does not ignore the road that leads toward danger. A shepherd who loves the sheep does not watch silently while it walks toward the edge of a cliff. A physician who desires healing does not leave infection untouched, because the cleansing may sting. I touch what is wrong because I love what is still alive in you. I correct because I see what you are becoming, not because I have forgotten who you are. There is a word in Hebrews that says, "The Lord disciplines the one he loves." Let that truth settle gently, not as a threat, but as reassurance. Discipline from my hand is not proof that you are unwanted. It is proof that you are not abandoned to your own confusion. I am too faithful to let you keep calling bondage comfort. I am too loving to let you keep naming compromise peace. My beloved child, not every removal is loss. Sometimes what leaves your life was draining the strength I placed within you. Sometimes the relationship you begged me to restore was the very place where your spirit kept shrinking. Sometimes the door that closed was not a wall against blessing, but a gate protecting you from what would have slowly hardened your heart. You may grieve it, but do not quickly call it rejection. Look again with me. I am a gardener as well as a father. I know when a branch must be pruned so it can bear more fruit. Pruning does not mean the branch is hated. It means life is being directed toward what can grow. When I remove what is dead, false, excessive, or diseased, your heart may feel the cut. Yet the purpose is not to leave you empty. The purpose is to make room for fruit that could not grow while the old thing remained. My beloved child, I also correct the hidden agreements you made with fear. You agreed that you must please everyone to be safe. You agreed that love means enduring what destroys your peace. You agreed that silence from others means you have no value. You agreed that if something is familiar, it must be from me. I am bringing these agreements into the light not to condemn you, but to break their authority. If we confess our sins, Scripture says, I am faithful and just to forgive and cleanse. Notice, my child, I do not only forgive, I cleanse. I do not only remove guilt, I wash the place where guilt tried to leave a mark. I do not invite you into truth so you can drown in shame. I invite you into truth so shame can lose its hiding place. Remember Peter after he denied my son. He wept bitterly, and his failure was real, yet failure did not become his final name. My son met him again by the shore, not with cruelty, but with a question of love. He restored Peter not by pretending the denial had never happened, but by calling love out from beneath the ashes of regret. That is how I correct. I reach into the ashes, find what still belongs to me, and breathe purpose into it again. My beloved child, there are things in you that I am not willing to abandon. I am not willing to abandon your tenderness to bitterness. I am not willing to abandon your calling to fear. I am not willing to abandon your peace to old patterns. I am not willing to abandon your discernment to emotional confusion. So I will speak, I will redirect, I will remove, I will uncover, I will teach. I will wait with patience while you learn. Do not run from my hand because it touches the painful place. The wound that is never touched is often the wound that never heals. I know how to touch without destroying. I know how to expose without humiliating. I know how to separate you from what is harmful without stripping you of dignity. My correction carries mercy within it. My truth carries healing within it. My discipline carries the fragrance of a father who refuses to lose his child to darkness. You may feel unsettled as I rearrange things. That does not mean you are outside my will. Sometimes peace comes after obedience, not before it. Sometimes the trembling step is still the faithful step. Sometimes the tears that come when you let go are not signs that you chose wrongly, but signs that a deep attachment is finally being released from your soul. My beloved child, do not measure my love by whether I let you keep everything you wanted. Measure my love by how faithfully I lead you toward life. A child may cry when a harmful thing is taken from his hands, but the Father's love is not proven by giving it back. Love is proven by protection. Love is proven by wisdom. Love is proven by staying near while the child learns to trust. So receive my correction without fear. Let me show you what must be healed. Let me name what must be surrendered. Let me close what must not continue. Let me cleanse what shame tried to hide. You are not being rejected. You are being rescued. You are not being discarded. You are being formed. You are not being punished out of my presence. You are being drawn deeper into it. When the correction is finished, you will not be smaller. You will be clearer. You will not be colder. You will be wiser. You will not be less loved. You will know my love with roots deeper than before. Even the parts of you that once feared my hand will learn to recognize my heart. You will look back and see that I was not tearing you down. I was guiding you back to the life I intended with a tenderness that never failed you. And as you learn to receive my correction as love, you will begin to understand the next work I am doing. I am not only removing what harmed you, I am rebuilding what was broken in you with patience, truth, strength, and mercy. My beloved child, now that you understand, my correction is not rejection. I want you to see the purpose behind the work I am doing within you. I am not only removing what wounded you. I am not only closing doors that drained your spirit. I am not only exposing what could no longer remain hidden. I am rebuilding what was broken in you stone by stone, breath by breath, with a patience that does not abandon the unfinished places. You may look at your heart and see ruins. You may see trust that collapsed joy, that feels scattered prayers that became quiet hope that seems buried under disappointment. You may wonder if the old version of you is gone forever. The one who loved, freely believed, sincerely, laughed without suspicion, and walked into tomorrow without carrying so much caution. But I tell you, my beloved child, what is broken is not beyond my hands. I do not rebuild by pretending nothing fell. I do not ask you to decorate the ruins and call them restored. I enter the places where the walls came down. I touch the stones covered with dust. I gather what you thought was useless. I separate what can be restored from what must be released. I build with truth, mercy, wisdom, and time. Remember Nehemiah when he heard that the walls of Jerusalem were broken and its gates had been burned. His heart grieved, but grief did not become his final home. He prayed, he wept, He sought my guidance. Then he rose to rebuild. My beloved child, this is the movement I am creating in you. I allow you to grieve honestly, but I do not let grief keep you sitting forever among the ruins. There were voices that mocked the rebuilding. There were enemies that tried to distract, threaten, and discourage the work. Yet the wall rose one section at a time, not all at once, not without resistance, not without tired hands, but it rose. And in the same way, the healing within you may feel slow, but do not despise the small stones being set back into place. Each morning you choose to pray instead of panic, another stone rises. Each time you refuse to return to what stole your peace, another stone rises. Each time you speak kindly to yourself after years of self-blame, another stone rises. Each time you forgive without reopening the door to harm, another stone rises. Each time you trust me with what you cannot control, another stone rises. My beloved child, restoration is often quiet before it becomes visible. A house is strengthened first in hidden beams. A tree is renewed first in roots beneath the ground. A soul is rebuilt first in places no one claps for. Do not think nothing is happening just because the world cannot see it. I am strengthening the hidden framework of your life. I am rebuilding your trust, but not the old trust that ignored warning signs. I am giving you trust with discernment. I am rebuilding your tenderness, but not the old tenderness that allowed everyone unlimited access. I am giving you tenderness with boundaries. I am rebuilding your hope, but not the old hope that depended on people acting perfectly. I am giving you hope rooted in me. There is a word that says the one who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Let this promise steady you. I do not start healing and leave it half finished. I do not touch a wound and then walk away. I do not call you into a new season and then abandon you at the doorway. What I begin, I continue. What I continue, I complete in my wisdom and timing. You may ask, my beloved child, why does rebuilding hurt? It hurts because old patterns are being loosened. It hurts because familiar chains are being removed. It hurts because the heart sometimes clings to what it knows, even when what it knows has wounded it. But pain during healing is not the same as pain during destruction. One tears you down, the other makes room for life. I am not rebuilding you into someone cold. I am not making you distant, suspicious, or unable to love. I am making you whole. I am teaching you how to love without losing yourself, how to trust without becoming blind, how to give without becoming empty, how to walk forward without dragging yesterday into every step. My beloved child, you once thought restoration meant getting back exactly what you lost, but my restoration is deeper. Sometimes I do not return the same thing because I am giving you something purer. Sometimes I do not reopen the same door because I am building a safer path. Sometimes I do not restore the old comfort because I am creating a new strength within you. Do not fear the new shape of your life. The rebuilding may not look like what you expected. You may not return to the same friendships, the same attachments, the same habits, the same way of trusting every voice. That does not mean you are less loving. It means wisdom has entered. It means the walls are rising. It means your heart is becoming a guarded garden where healthy love can grow. I am also rebuilding your voice. For a long time, pain taught you either to explain too much or to become silent out of fear. I am teaching you a new sound, gentle but clear, humble but steady. You will learn to say yes without fear and no without guilt. You will learn to speak truth without using it as a weapon. You will learn to rest when words are not required. My beloved child, look closely at the ruins again. Do not only see what fell, see what I am preparing. The broken place is not only evidence of loss. In my hands it becomes the foundation of wisdom. The ashes are not only reminders of fire. In my hands they become soil for new life. The empty space is not only absence. In my hands it becomes room for what I am sending. Even the delays are not empty. I use them to deepen the foundation, to make your peace less fragile, to make your obedience less dependent on feelings, and to teach you that lasting restoration is built with holy patience and quiet trust. So be patient with the rebuilding. Do not curse the slow work. Do not compare your healing to another person. Do not rush ahead because you are tired of feeling unfinished. Let me place each stone with care. Let me rebuild in the order only I understand. Let me strengthen what no one else sees. You are not ruined, my beloved child. You are under restoration. You are not forgotten among fallen walls. You are being rebuilt by the Father who knows the original design. And as I rebuild what was broken in you, I will also teach you the place where this restoration is nourished every day, the quiet place of prayer where your heart learns to breathe with me again. My beloved child, as I rebuild what was broken in you, I now draw you into the quiet place where the rebuilding is nourished. Come near to me in prayer, not as someone trying to impress heaven with perfect words, but as a child returning to the arms of a Father who already knows the trembling beneath your voice. Prayer is not a religious mask. Prayer is the place where your heart learns to breathe with me again. Many times you come asking me to change what surrounds you. You ask me to change the people who hurt you, to move the circumstances that press against you, to open the door that seems closed, to answer the question that has followed you through many nights. I hear those prayers, my beloved child. I do not dismiss them. But often before I change what is around you, I begin by changing what is within you. This is not because your outer pain does not matter. It matters deeply to me. But if I changed every circumstance while your heart remained ruled by fear, bitterness, anger, or confusion, you would step into a new season carrying an old prison inside you. So I meet you first in prayer. I touch the inner room. I quiet the storm beneath the surface. I restore the place from which your choices, words, and hopes will flow. My beloved child, prayer is where anger can be placed into my hands before it becomes destruction. Prayer is where grief can be poured out before it turns into despair. Prayer is where fear can speak honestly and then bow before trust. You do not need to enter prayer pretending you are calm when you are not. Bring me the truth. Bring me the trembling thought. Bring me the name that still aches. Bring me the memory that still returns. There is a word in Scripture that says, "The peace of God which surpasses understanding will guard your heart and mind." Notice, my child, that peace is described as a guard. It stands watch at the gates of your inner life. It does not always explain everything. It protects you while some things remain unexplained. It keeps your soul from being invaded by panic while the answer is still unfolding. This is why prayer transforms you first. You may kneel with questions, yet rise with steadier breath. You may enter with sorrow, yet leave with a small lamp of hope burning again. You may begin by asking me to make someone else see the truth, but as you remain with me, I begin helping you see with cleaner eyes. I do not always remove the burden immediately. Sometimes I strengthen the place within you that has been bending under it. Remember Job, my beloved child. He suffered deeply. He was misunderstood by friends who spoke many words but did not understand the depth of his pain. They tried to explain what they could not see. They placed meaning upon his suffering without knowing the secret counsel of heaven. Yet when the story moved toward restoration, I led Job into a place where his heart prayed even for those who had wounded him with their words. After he prayed, restoration began to unfold in a deeper way. Do you see what I am teaching you? Prayer did not erase the truth of what had happened to Job. It did not pretend his grief had been small. It did not make the careless words of others right. But prayer lifted him out of the prison where pain could have become the only voice. Prayer opened the door for his soul to stand again before me without being chained to the misunderstanding of people. My beloved child, when I ask you to pray, I am not asking you to excuse wrongdoing. I am not asking you to forget the wound. I am not asking you to return to places where wisdom has told you to leave. I am inviting you to bring every person, every memory, every unanswered question, and every broken piece into my presence, so none of it continues ruling you from the shadows. Pray for those who hurt you, not because they deserve access to you, but because your heart deserves freedom from hatred. Pray for them not to deny what they did, but to place them beneath my judgment and my mercy, instead of keeping them beneath your bitterness. When you pray this way, you stop becoming a mirror of the darkness that touched you. You remain, my child, shaped by my spirit, not by their offense. This kind of prayer may feel impossible at first, so begin honestly. Say, Father, I cannot bless them yet, but I bring them to you. Say, Father, my heart is still angry, but I do not want anger to become my home. Say, Father, teach me to release what I cannot repair. I will meet you there. I do not despise small beginnings. A whispered prayer through clenched pain can still open a window for grace. My beloved child, guard your prayer life like a small flame on a windy night. Not because I am far away and must be convinced to listen, but because your heart needs constant nearness to my voice. The world is loud. Pain is loud. Fear is loud. Old memories are loud. But prayer brings you back to the sound of truth. In prayer, you remember that you are not alone. You remember that I am Father. You remember that the wound is not your master. There will be mornings when prayer feels dry. Come anyway. There will be nights when you have no language. Sit with me anyway. There will be days when your emotions resist surrender. Breathe my name anyway. Prayer is not measured only by what you feel. It is a turning of the soul toward me. It is the quiet decision to remain connected when everything in you wants to run toward worry. Little by little, prayer will change the way you carry the story. The same memory that once made you shake will begin to lose its command. The same silence that once felt like abandonment will become a room where you can hear me more clearly. The same pain that once made you bitter will become a place where compassion begins to grow. I will not waste one honest prayer. Come to me daily, my beloved child. Come without polished language. Come without hiding the parts that still feel unfinished. Let prayer become the room where I soften your heart without making you weak, strengthen your spirit without making you hard, and teach you to trust without losing wisdom. I will show you the difference between holy connection and hidden bondage, between love that leads you closer to me and attachment that slowly steals your peace again. As prayer transforms your heart, you will begin to recognize what still drains your soul and what must be released into my hands. For a heart that stays near me will no longer be able to remain comfortably attached to what keeps pulling it away from my peace. My beloved child, as prayer begins to transform your heart, you will start to recognize the attachments that have been stealing your peace. Some bonds do not look dangerous at first. They arrive softly with comforting words, familiar presence, and the feeling that someone finally understands the hidden ache within you. At first you may call it support, you may call it connection, you may even call it love. But slowly, if it pulls your heart away from my voice, you must look at it beneath my light. I am not speaking to condemn you. I know why you held on. You were tired of feeling alone. You wanted a place to rest your heart. You wanted someone to notice what others ignored, to listen, without rushing you to make the empty places feel less empty. I understand that longing, my beloved child. I created you with the ability to love and to be loved, but I did not create you to make another person the source of your life. There are attachments that feel warm while they are quietly weakening you. There are conversations that begin as comfort but become chains. There are connections that seem to bring relief for a moment, yet leave your spirit more anxious afterward. There are voices you begin waiting for more than mine. There are messages you begin checking before you pray. There is a tension that feels sweet but slowly takes the throne of your emotions. My beloved child, when a human presence begins deciding whether you have peace, then something sacred has been moved out of order. I am not jealous like a wounded person who fears being replaced. I am jealous with holy love, because I know that anything sitting where only I belong will eventually become too heavy for your soul to carry. Guard your heart, Scripture says, because from it flows the direction of your life. I gave that word not to make you suspicious of love, but to make you wise with access. Your heart is not a room for every voice to enter. It is a sanctuary I am healing. It must not be handed to someone simply because they made you feel seen for a season. My beloved child, strong emotions are not always confirmation from heaven. A storm can be powerful and still be dangerous. A flame can be bright and still be strange fire. A bond can feel deep and still be drawing you away from obedience. Do not measure what is holy by the intensity of what you feel. Measure it by the fruit it produces. Does it bring purity? Does it bring peace? Does it make your prayer life deeper? Does it make your heart more honest before me? Does it strengthen your obedience, or does it make compromise sound reasonable? I have been warning you gently, not always with thunder, sometimes with a restlessness you could not explain, sometimes with a heaviness after a conversation, sometimes with the loss of peace when you tried to convince yourself everything was fine, sometimes with a quiet thought that said, "This is taking too much of your heart." My beloved child, do not silence those warnings because you fear the emptiness that may follow letting go. Emptiness after obedience is not abandonment. It is space I am clearing for healing. You may think that without this attachment, you will be alone, but I tell you there are moments when loneliness becomes the doorway back to my nearness. There are silences that feel painful at first because your soul has been trained to seek comfort in the wrong place. But if you remain with me, that silence will become clean air. Remember Joseph in the house of Potiphar. When temptation reached for him, he did not stay to negotiate with danger. He did not stand there explaining that he was strong enough to handle it. He did not ask whether he could remain close and still remain pure. He ran. He left behind the garment that was grabbed because he understood that losing an outer covering was better than losing inward obedience. My beloved child, there are times when you must leave something behind to keep your soul free. You may need to leave behind the image you wanted others to believe. You may need to leave behind a connection you hoped would become safe. You may need to leave behind late-night conversations, secret emotional dependence, repeated returns to someone who keeps confusing your spirit. You may need to leave behind the fear that if you obey me, no one will understand. Let them misunderstand if obedience keeps you near me. I am not asking you to hate the person. I am not asking you to curse the memory. I am asking you to see clearly. Love that comes from me will not require you to shrink your conscience. It will not make you hide, lie, tremble, or slowly disconnect from prayer. It will not feed anxiety and call it passion. It will not keep you addicted to inconsistent attention. My love brings life. Anything that steadily drains life must be brought into my light. My beloved child, letting go may hurt. Your hands may tremble. Your heart may grieve the dream you attach to that person or situation. You may feel as though you are losing something necessary, but what I remove from the center of your soul, I do not remove to leave you empty forever. I remove it because I am returning you to freedom. It is for freedom that Christ has set you free. Do not take again the yoke that once bent your neck. Do not return to a place only because it feels familiar. Familiar bondage is still bondage. A cage does not become home because you decorated it with memories. Come to me with the attachment honestly. Say, Father, I wanted this more than I wanted peace. Say, Father, I feared losing it more than I trusted you. Say, Father, help me release what is draining my soul. I will not shame you for that prayer. I will strengthen you through it. Do not be afraid of the first quiet day after surrender. I will meet you there with patience. I will teach your heart that peace is not emptiness, and freedom is not punishment. What feels like loss today will become the doorway through which your soul learns to live again, in my light. My beloved child, choose me over the fear of loss. Choose peace over emotional captivity. Choose the quiet road of obedience over the loud pull of desire. When you let go, I will hold you. When the empty space aches, I will fill it with my presence. When old longing returns, I will teach you to breathe through it without obeying it. You are not losing love. You are leaving a counterfeit so I can lead you toward what is pure. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming free. And as you release what has drained your soul, you will be ready for the final call, the moment when you must no longer delay the obedience I have placed before you. My beloved child, after I have shown you what must be released, I now bring you to the place of decision. This is no longer only a message to comfort you. This is a call, not a call wrapped in fear, but a call carried by love strong enough to interrupt what is slowly harming your soul. You have heard my voice. You have felt the quiet pull. You have sensed the uneasiness that returns whenever you try to make peace with what I have already asked you to surrender. Do not call it confusion anymore. Do not call it overthinking. Do not call it sensitivity. There are moments when your spirit knows the truth before your emotions are ready to accept it. I have spoken through peace leaving your heart. I have spoken through closed doors. I have spoken through the heaviness that follows certain conversations. I have spoken through the small inner warning that says, my child, this is not where life is growing. My beloved child, I do not speak to shame you. I speak to rescue you. A father does not wake his child in the night because he hates the child's sleep. He wakes the child because there is danger near the house. In the same way, I am waking the places within you that became too comfortable near what was draining you. I am calling you out before the attachment becomes stronger, before compromise becomes normal, before your heart forgets the sound of my peace. There is a word that says today, if you hear my voice, do not harden your heart. Let that word come gently, but firmly into you. Today matters. Obedience delayed again and again can slowly become disobedience, accepted as normal. The heart does not always turn away from me in one dramatic moment. Often it drifts through small excuses, small delays, small agreements with fear, until what once troubled the conscience begins to feel ordinary. My beloved child, I know why you delayed. You were afraid of loss. You feared loneliness. You feared misunderstanding. You feared that if you obeyed me, you would have to grieve something your heart still wanted to keep. I do not mock that fear. I know how deeply it has touched you. But I also know what is on the other side of obedience. I know the freedom that waits beyond the tears. I know the peace that waits beyond the trembling step. Remember Abraham when I called him to leave what was familiar and go to a land he did not yet know. He did not receive every detail before he moved. He walked because my voice was enough for the next step. My beloved child, faith does not always receive the whole map. Faith receives my hand. You may not know how everything will unfold after you obey. You may not know how the emptiness will be filled, but you can know who is leading you. Do not wait until obedience feels painless. Some obedience will feel like pulling roots from soil. Some obedience will make your hands shake. Some obedience will cause tears to fall because you are releasing not only a thing but also the dream you attach to it. Still, I will be with you. I will not ask you to step out and then abandon you in the open. When I call you out, I also walk before you. My beloved child, stop asking me to bless what I am asking you to leave. Stop asking me to make holy what continues to pull you away from holiness. Stop asking me to give peace inside a place where I have already shown you there is no peace for your soul. I love you too much to decorate a cage and call it a home. I love you too much to let you rename chains as destiny. There are doors that must be closed while your heart still trembles. There are conversations that must end before they become cords again. There are habits, attachments, hidden compromises, and emotional dependencies that must be placed before me now, not someday, not when it becomes convenient, not after one more sign. My beloved child, how many signs have I already given through the loss of peace within you? I am not asking for a perfect response. I am asking for a willing one. Say yes with tears if you must. Say yes with a shaking voice. Say yes while your feelings are still catching up. Obedience is not proven by the absence of struggle. It is proven when your heart chooses my voice above the louder pull of fear. Remember the disciples when my son called them from their nets. They left what was familiar and followed. They did not understand everything that would come. They did not see the full cost nor the full glory. Yet the call required a response. My beloved child, there are moments when lingering beside the net becomes the very place where destiny is delayed. I have been patient with you. My patience is mercy, not permission to remain bound. My kindness is meant to lead you into repentance, not into deeper delay. Do not misuse grace by calling tomorrow the day of obedience, while today slips away untouched. The light is shining now. The door of surrender is open now. My voice is near now. My beloved child, bring me the thing you are afraid to release. Bring me the person, the habit, the secret hope, the hidden attachment, the old wound, the repeated compromise. Place it before me and say, Father, I choose you more than I choose my fear. I choose your peace more than my familiar pain. I choose your will more than the comfort that keeps draining my soul. When you do this, the first feeling may not be joy. It may be grief. That is not failure. It is the soul separating from what it leaned on for too long. Let the grief come, but do not let it lead you back. Let the tears fall, but keep walking toward me. I will meet you in the space obedience creates. I will fill what fear said would remain empty. I will become the shelter your heart was searching for in lesser things. Even now, my child, I am not far from you. I am nearer than the fear in your chest, nearer than the voice of doubt, nearer than the memory that pulls you backward. Trust me more than the ache of letting go today now. This is the my soul. When you do this, the first feeling may not be joy. It may be grief. That is not failure. It is the soul separating from what it leaned on for too long. Let the grief come, but do not let it lead you back. Let the tears fall, but keep walking toward me. I will meet you in the space obedience creates. I will fill what fear moment, my beloved child. Not because I am impatient, but because I love you. Not because I want to frighten you, but because I want you free. Answer me now with the quiet surrender of your heart. Let the old season lose its permission. Let the false attachment release its grip. Let the path of life open before you. I am calling you into freedom, purity, peace, and restoration. Take the step. I am with you. I will hold you. I will lead you. And what you release in obedience will never be greater than what you gain in my presence.